But let me encourage you first to focus on Him and Him alone, not any crowd. Not any crowd. Get connected correctly with the Lord, and then let that direct not only what crowd or crowds you're in, but also how you interact with any crowd you're a part of. But think about these crowds. You have the Save Us Son of David crowd. That's basically good, but got some error mixed in there. You've got the stealth, strong crowd doing things under the radar, but then come out with swords and clubs when needed. And you've got the stirred up, screaming crowd that seems to get everything backwards morally. Well, let me ask a couple questions here for you to consider. Which type of crowd do you listen to? Which type of crowd are you a part of? And do you see the commonness between these crowds and some of the current crowds at work in our world today, even in our own lives? Some of the same pride, some of the same manipulation, some of the same tactics, some of the same things are going on today. So let me close with this thought. We are a social people. We're called to love one another. We're called to worship and serve together. In a sense, to be a crowd for good and glory, right? I mean, we're a crowd. But let me encourage you first to focus on Him and Him alone, not any crowd. Not any crowd. Get connected correctly with the Lord, and then let that direct not only what crowd or crowds you're in, but also how you interact with any crowd you're a part of. Connect with the Lord first. Singleness of connection. And then allow that to be the filter with which you connect with any crowd and how you connect with any crowd. Let me bring that even a little closer. In our church body, don't just fall in line with how things are or whatever level of spiritualness you find acceptable here. Don't do that. Live as close to the Lord and as close to His truth as you can. And by your example, drag the rest of us along with you. Let me encourage you with that again. Live as close to the Lord and as true to His word as you can. And by your example, drag the rest of us with you. Don't let whatever level of acceptable spirituality our crowd is to ease you into saying, well, I'm doing okay. Oh, all right. No. You be as close to God as you can be. And let that be an example to all of us. Paul told Timothy to set an example for the believers in speech and conduct and love and faith and purity. And he told him that when he was younger, right? No man despise thy youth. When he was younger than others. So he's telling Timothy in a culture that really made a difference between younger guys showing older guys something, you know? And he said, look, even though you're younger, you live in such a way that shows what it is to serve God in life. You set an example. I've tried to tell my kids to follow me as I follow Christ. But, where you run faster, run faster. Where I've fallen, don't fall. Right? Follow me as I follow Christ, but charge ahead if you can. So that's what I would tell you. Don't just meander through in a group. No, you can have an open, vibrant relationship with God Almighty. Have one as close as you can. And then let that impact the crowd you're a part of.